I want to one-trick Hanzo, but we've got some clarification, guys, on the one-trick banning situation, and there's been an update on the PTR, which has caused some very weird things. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa. Alright, so the first thing we're going to look at today is a post by Josh Engen, who's part of the Overwatch community team. And this is in a thread where a player is asking, well, I want a one-trick Hanzo, but will I get banned? That is basically what he's asking. And this is the response by Josh. Now, this is a very interesting response, and you could potentially look at this and say, I think this is going to lead to some role select kind of queue, maybe? I don't know. We'll have to look at this. So, this is what he says. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put this on the screen because this is a lot of text. I'm going to read through it. I will link to this in the description below. You guys can go and check that out as always. But I'll read through it, and then I'll give you my thoughts on bits and pieces as we do it. All right, here we go. Hey everyone, I just wanted to chime in because there's definitely some confusion around one-tricking, and we wanted to take a moment to clarify our philosophy as a development team. We believe players can choose to play any available hero during any game at any time, and that their choice of hero alone is not a behaviour that should be penalised by our customer service team under any of the player report categories, including griefing, inactivity or poor teamwork. We believe players should be evaluated based on their actions with whichever hero they choose. If a player disrupts their team by intentionally feeding with any hero, you should report that player for griefing. If a player is staying in the spawn area, refuses to attack the enemy, or refuses to support those that are, you should report that player for inactivity. If a player actively refuses to play the map's objectives or communicates to the team in a negative fashion, you should report that player for poor teamwork. If a player communicates in a hateful or harassing manner with any hero, you should report that player for abusive chat. However, if a teammate is actively trying to perform well on the hero and help their team, they should not be reported under any category. And I think that's the problem, right? That last line. However, if a teammate is actively trying to perform well on any hero to help their team, they should not be reported under any category. See, that's kind of a problem with Overwatch competitive because the trick kind of in the name, right? Competitive would imply that you're willing to be competitive to try and get the win, and that doesn't mean just stubbornly playing one hero over and over again. I mean, I could use loads of examples here of, like, you know, people when they use attack torb and all of this mad stuff, but I'll keep it to me because I've got like the relevant experience there. So I'm playing a lot of Moira this season, but there are points where Moira doesn't work, so I will play a different hero. You guys remember a long time ago, well, I say a long time ago, it's probably only a couple of weeks ago, I spoke about the Bastion one trick I came in contact with, who just really liked to play Bastion. Even he admitted to me that there were points where Bastion didn't work. I think it was on Lijiang. He said it wasn't too great. I think it was Lijiang Gardens actually, but can be kind of okay on Command Center, I think he said. However, he just carried on playing Bastion. That's unsportsmanlike behaviour, because what he's doing there is he knows he's not going to perform that well on this map because the hero doesn't really work. If he's playing Bastion, he probably has pretty good accuracy, so he could just play a soldier or something else, but just doesn't want to do that. You see, in my head, that's poor teamwork. So is that reportable? This is the thing, right? This is where we get this sort of blurred line situation where if you look around at people and you think, okay, this guy shouldn't be playing that hero right now, can you please swap the hero? And the guy doesn't swap the hero, and then you're like, oh, I'm just going to report you because you're playing a hero that's just not going to work. Then is that a reportable offense? This is the blur. Like, I mean, I go back to the start of this post. It literally says, we won't ban you for playing one hero. We just will not do that to you. But then it goes on to say, however, if you do all of these toxic things, we will ban you. The thing is, more often than not, things like throwing or like jumping off the map and killing yourself or being AFK in spawn does revolve around picking Torbjorn, doesn't it? I'm just going to build my turret in the spawn, or I'm just going to jump off the map, or something totally ridiculous. So you can see, well, there is a little bit of a connection there between a one trick and a, unsportsmanlike behavior, let's say, because I think that covers quite a few categories like toxicity, poor teamwork, griefing. Like, that's not really playing as a team player, is it? Anyway, Josh goes on. Players who inaccurately submit player reports in an attempt to punish someone's hero choice are considered to be harassing or griefing their fellow player. And inaccurate reports make it more difficult for us to appropriately action the players who do disrupt the game. Thing is, guys, right? Surely picking a hero which throws the game into disrepute is actually messing the game up, so should be reported. It's a very complex issue, this is. Like, I think what's happening is we've got, on the one side of things, we've got like the ultra competitive players who only ever want the meta comp, right? Then you've got players where I think I fall into this next category, who will work with people if they make crazy off meta picks. But if it's not working, then I will start saying, do you think we can change the team comp? You know, do you think we could maybe change the the quad DPS we've got to another tank, please, or something like that? You know, that'll be me. That's the category I'm in. Then we've got the other category of people who just, well, they're the one tricks. Like, they just don't care. They're like, whatever, I'm just going to play whatever and it's fine. Now, there is a debate to be had around Overwatch about just being like almost not letting it affect you. Like, I've noticed that I will generally win more games if I just go into a game, try to perform the best I am, which I've got to be honest, when I'm playing on my mains, I play better than when I'm playing not on my main. So there's a completely other argument as well, where you could say, all right, Sty, so this season you played a lot of Moira, but if you go and play Zarya, you're not going to be very good because you haven't played Zarya for ages, but the team need a Zarya. But maybe if you just played Moira, even though it'd be triple support, maybe it would be more effective. See, things like that is where it gets crazily complicated. And like I said, I think there are these three camps. There's the camp of, look, you've always got to roll the meta comp. If I ever see a Torbjorn in my game or any hero I deem to be off meta, then I'm just going to report you straight away, which I don't think is the way to do it. Then you've got my way of doing it, which again, I don't think I really... It doesn't really fit with the game right now, and we're being told this repeatedly by Blizzard, but my way is definitely, okay, it's fine that we've got a crazy team comp, we'll roll with it, but if it doesn't work, then I'll be like, can we change the team comp? Now, the way you ask your team for that, you have to be very diplomatic. You can't just be like, oh my god, Torbjorn, you're so bad, get off the Torb, you throw in the game, because that Torb will then just leave voice chat, because then he's being harassed, and then actually, he's got grounds to report you, which I think is probably a viable report, but... You know, I don't know, that it's just so complicated. Then we've got the final one, which is just like, you just don't care. And anyway, let me carry on. We're continuing to make improvements to our reporting system, which includes, but certainly isn't limited to, making our false report detection more robust. We will continue to pay close attention to players who are at high risk of being falsely reported and taking appropriate actions to prevent it. Your teammates can respectfully provide their opinion and suggest using a different hero for the gameplay situation that your team is experiencing, but the final decision about which hero you want to play is yours alone. We built Overwatch around the concept of teamwork, and we believe... Can you understand why I'm laughing a little bit there, guys? Look at... I'll read this again, because, like, this is... You've said two different things here. Your teammates can respectfully provide their opinion and suggest using a different hero for the gameplay situation that your team is experiencing, but the final decision about which hero you want to play is yours alone. And then the very next line, we built Overwatch around the concept of teamwork. And we believe the game is much more fun for everyone in a match when we're picking heroes that contribute to the overall success of the team. At times, this means we'll be playing our mains. Other times, we should be trying to help the team by choosing heroes that round out the team's composition. We won't be actioning you if you only play your main. Notice they're not saying one trick, they're saying main. But we would also believe this is the ideal way to play Overwatch, especially in competitive. So basically, the entire post is made invalid by the last paragraph, which just says you should flex and build a proper team comp, after saying you can just one trick and do what you like. It's very all over the place, this response is. I don't know what to make of this, guys. Like, this is a highly complicated issue for Overwatch. And if we do get role select or preferred role queue or whatever in the future, then it would probably get rid of a lot of this. You would still get people who would lock in as DPS and then just play Torbjorn, because you would get that. But whatever, you would just work around it. But I don't know. Like, I really don't know. This is ugh. All right, the next thing we've got is a little bit weird. So this is a... This is a little GIF I want to show you of some very strange movement at the spawn doors. Now, this is from Andy GMB from competitive Reddit, and as you can see, you can't actually get into the spawn anymore. So once you leave it, you're basically screwed. Now, this is a result of some movement changes that have been made, and Jeff actually put a post up on the forums about this, but it's not really worth reading the post off. Essentially, what this does is you now move at sort of like the same speed everywhere. So if you run up a ramp, you'll keep going at the same speed as if you were running on the flat. There are also some interesting changes to Winston. Now, again, it's pretty hard to show this off. We've got some footage here in the background of me jumping around in the training practice range with Winston, and it just gives you more control. Like, the best way to explain this is if you jump on live with Winston, you sort of go forward, but you conserve momentum. So you can change your direction in the air, but it's more of like a curved kind of path. If you are, however, on the PTR with this new change, you can just sort of move around in the air as you jump. You still obviously keep moving forward, but you can just move in the air. It's a little bit weird. Like, I suggest you go and check the PTR out for this, but this gives you way more control. And honestly, I think this is a bit of a buff to Winston, because Winston can now land on targets a lot more accurately, and this might prevent Winston jumping off the map as much as maybe Winston does, or maybe that's just me, I don't know. Now, this could affect other heroes as well, because it affects aerial movement a lot. Heroes like Pharah, if you are a Pharah player, do check it out in the PTR and let me know how this feels. It could be feeling a little bit, I don't know, different in a bad way, I'm not sure. Yeah, like, this is something we're going to have to sort of track just to see where this goes, because it's very complicated, and there isn't really anything I can show you right now which will just make you go, oh, they've changed the movement system. It's like a subtle change, but it affects all heroes in the game. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. But before you go, there will be a video later on the channel, which is a Christmas giveaway. This is good, well, or a Winter Wonderland giveaway, a holidays giveaway, whatever you want to call it. This is an insane prize, guys, so stay tuned for this. It will go live later on tonight if you live in the UK, and it's phenomenal. The stuff I'm giving away is completely ridiculous. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video. You can subscribe to me on, well, YouTube. That would be beautiful. You can follow me on Twitter as well. And yeah, I think I'm getting a sore throat, which is bad. I hope I'm not going to be ill for Christmas. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Toodaloo.